Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to Shabbat Club, our first one in person in about 2 years. I invite you to turn to page 10 in Siddur Lev Shalem for Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman Mishoch Avdach El Retzonach Yarutz Avdach Kemo Ayal Yishtachaveh El Mul Hadarach Ki Yerav Lo Yedidutach Mino Fetzuf Vechol Ta'am Hadur Na'eziv Ha'olam Nafshi Cholat Ahavtach Ana Elna Rifanala Beharot Lach Noam Ziva Az Titchazek Vetitrapeh V'haitalach Shivchat Olam Vatikemu Rachamecha V'chusna Al Beino Havach Ki Zekama Nichsof Liro Tiferet Uzach Ana Eli Machmad Libi Chushana Ve'al Titalam Higalena Ufros Chaviv Alai Etzukat Shelomach Ta'ir Eretz Mikvodach Nagila Venismecha Bach Maher Ahuv Kiva Moed V'choneni Ki Me'olam Yananai nai 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 Yananai nai 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 Yananai nai 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 Yananai nai nai Yananai nai 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 Yananai nai 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 Yananai nai 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 Yananai nai nai Yananai nai 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 Yananai nai 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 Yananai nai 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 Yananai nai nai Yananai nai 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 Yananai nai 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 Yananai nai 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 nai. Please turn to page 11 as Leah will lead us in Lechuneranina. Lechuneranina, 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 Ladonai. Lechuneranina, 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 Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Litzur Yishenu, Ekadma Panav Betoda. Naria, Naria, Litzur Yishenu, Ekadma Panav Betoda. Lechuneranina, 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 Ladonai. Lechuneranina, Naria, Naria, Litzur Yishenu, Peace Miro, Naria Lo. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. Please turn to page 12 for Arba'im Shana. Repeat after me. Arba'im Shana, Arba'im Shana, Akut Bedor, Akut Bedor, Va'omar, Va'omar, Am Toeh Levavchem, Am Toeh Levavchem, Behem Lo Yadu, Behem Lo Yadu, Derachai, Derachai, Asher Nishbati V'api, Im Yavon El Manuchati. Wonderful job, Leah. Please turn to page 13 for Shiru Ladonai. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato, Safru Bagoyim Kevodo, Bechol Ha'amim Niflotav, Ki Gadol Adonai, Umehula Meod, Norahu, Al Kol Elohim, Ay, Kikol Elohe, Ha'amim Elilim, V'Adonai Shamayim Asa, Hod Ve'adar Levanav, Ozveti Feret B'Mikdasho, Havu Ladonai Mishpechot Damim, Havu Ladonai Kavod Va'os, Havu Ladonai Kevod Shemo, Se'u Mincha, Uva'u Lechatzrotav, Ay, Hishachavu Ladonai, Behadar Kodesh, Hilu Mipanav Kol Haaretz, Imru Bagoyim Adonai Malach, Aftikon Tevel Baltimot, Yadin Amim B'Mesharim, Yismechu Hashamayim V'Tagel Haaretz, Yiram Hayam, Umelo, Yalo Sadar, V'chol Asher Bo, Ay, Azeranenu Kol Atzeyar, Lifnei Adonai Kiva, Lishpot Haaretz, Yishpot Tevel B'Tzedek, Ve'amim Be'emunato, Yanai, Nanai, Nai, Yanai, Nai, Nai, Yanai, Nai, Nai, Yanai, Nai, Nai, Yanai, Nai, Nai, Yai nai nai nai, yai nai nai, yana nai na nai nai, yana nai na nai nai, yana nai na nai nai, yana nai yana nai, yana nai na nai nai, yana nai na nai nai, yana nai nai, yai nai nai, yai nai nai. Please turn to page 15 at the top. Adonai Malach, V'Tagel Haaretz, Yismechu Ayim Rabim. Please continue silently. Page 16 at the bottom. Orza Ruach La Tzadik, U'yishrei Lev Simcha, Simchu tzadikim baronai vehodu lezecher kodsho. I invite you to turn to page 17 as Leah will lead us in a reading in just the reading, that's what, yes.
To take the first step, to sing a new song, is to close one's eyes and dive into unknown waters. For a moment knowing nothing, risking all, but then to discover. The waters are friendly, the ground is firm, and the song rises again. Out of my mouth come words lifting the wind, and I hear, for the first, the song that has been in my heart, silent, unknown, even to me.
Beautiful. Please turn to page 20 for Romemu at the arrow. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. We turn to page 21 for Mizmor LeDavid. Mizmor LeDavid. Havu Adonai b'nei elim, Havu Adonai kavod va'oz, Havu Adonai kevod shemo, Ishtachavu Adonai behadra kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et hazreit Lavanon, Vayechetem kemo egel Levanon, Vesirion, Kemo ben remim, Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yachol el ayalot, Vayechesof ye'arot, uvehechalo kulo omer kavod, kulo omer kavod. Adonai lama buyashav, vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Yain nine nine nine, yain nine 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 nine, yain nine nine nine, yain nine nine nine, yain nine, yain nine 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 nine, yain nine 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 nine. Please turn to page 23 as Leah reads a reading in the left margin.
Shabbat, Israel's partner. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish taught, the day of Shabbat came before the Holy One and said, Creator of the world, every day has a partner. Sunday has Monday, and so on. But I have no partner. The Holy One replied, Israel shall be your partner. And when Israel stood at Sinai, God said to them, Remember my promise to Shabbat, that Israel will be your partner. Thus it is written, Remember the day of Shabbat to keep it holy.
Beautiful. I now invite Raquel to come up and lead us in Lacharodi on page 23.
Lachadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zahor b'dibro ehad, Yishmiyanu el hamyuhad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lachadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha, ki mehor b'haracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maser b'shavatila. Lachadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Mikdash melech yirmucha, kumitzeh mitok harnafesh, harak lak shevet b'melech bacha, vehu yachmor aleikem la. Lachadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Idnarai me'afar kumi, livshi bigdei tifaretami, al yad ben yasher beit halalami, kova el nafshagela. Lachadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Tori, kivarek komiori, uri, sher bi'aberi, kevod Adonai, I like Nigila. Lachadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Letosh voshi, v'lo tikalmi, ma tishrohahi. Umatehi Bak Yashu Ani Ami Venitai Atila. Lachadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Please rise and face east. Shalom, Asher Ba'alav, Shalom Besimcha U'B'Tzohalam, Tachemu Ne'am Segula, Boli Chala, Lachadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lachadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. Thank you, Raquel. I now invite, you may be seated. I now invite Leah to come back up to lead us in Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat on page 27. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי אשור ועלי נבל, עלי הגיון וכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Thank you. Please turn to page 28 at the arrow for Tzadi Katamar.
Tzadi Katamar Yifrach, Yifrach Tzadi Katamar Yifrach. Tzadi Katamar Yifrach, Yifrach Tzadi Katamar Yifrach. Ke'eretz bavanon yizke, Ke'eretz bavanon yizke, Ke'eretz bavanon yizke, yizke. Ke'eretz bavanon yizke, Ke'eretz bavanon yizke, Ke'eretz bavanon yizke, yizke.
Thank you, Leah. I now invite Rabbi up for Mourner's Kaddish on page 30.
Morning to join me. We had a funeral in the congregation today, and that was for Paulette Green, Pirchia Bat Amram Vidana. I extend condolences to the Green family, and I invite others to join together who are in mourning or observing a yurtzeit. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra kirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, b'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen, yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'me'ol maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'alma v'imru amen, yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. It's my joy to see the USYers gathered together. As was noted at the opening by Yaira, it's the first time in 18 months that the USYers are here in the sanctuary leading the Shabbat Club. There have been some USY-led services via Zoom in the course of these COVID days, but it's a taste of returning to some hope of normalcy ahead. And with that, every month, first Friday that the USYers lead, a USYer or a USY leader provides the teaching, the Devar Torah. Sherry Galante is coming off a very successful summer of Camp B'nai Ruach and the beginning of a USY year that will also be a year of success. She provides us with the teaching.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. As the new youth director here at CBI, I am so excited for this year. I have been working at CBI teaching Hebrew school to many of the kids who are sitting here and at home tonight. And I am so excited to see them grow up and mature and show their love for their community and making wonderful connections to Judaism. And I'm so grateful to return here to be with them and watch them grow after the summer of camp here at CBI, but here at USY, we're all together, and I'm so grateful for that. As the rabbi said, each month on the first Friday night of the month, we will gather together in person, and we will pray together, sing together, rejoice together, and then eat together and have a great time celebrating Shabbat. So if you are not here with us tonight, I welcome you to join us in the future. This week's parshat is Nitzavim. It opens with the following words. You stand here this day, all of you, before the eternal your God, your tribal heads, your elders, and your officials, all the men of Israel, your children, your wives, even the stranger within your camp, from wood chopper to water drawer, to enter into the covenant of the eternal your God, which the eternal your God is concluding with you this day with its sanctions, to the end that God may establish you this day as his people and be your God as was promised. So as I prepared for this week's Devar Torah and I was reading those opening words, it struck to me there were so many details that Moses laid out when he was speaking to the people of Israel. Instead of just saying, hey, people of Israel, as he does many times in the Torah, he was very specific. He spoke to the people specifically for the roles that they served. There were tribal heads, elders, officials, children, men, wives, strangers, wood choppers, and water drawers. So why did he do this? Why not just lump everyone together as the people of Israel? So I think he was being very progressive, very inclusive as we are in this day and age. He didn't want any one person or any one group to feel excluded. He looked around, he saw who the people were, and he wanted them to know they were part of a bigger community. He gave them a title, and he said, you belong to the community and to the covenant with God. He was showing us that community is really a sum of all of its parts. Just as there can't be a community of just wood choppers or a community of only tribal leaders, a community has many roles that come together to build the community. So that's relevant to us here tonight because we aren't all the same people. We have a VP of Israeli Affairs. We have youth advisors. We have Machar and Kadima kids, our youngest kids. We have our 7th through 12th graders who are your USYers. We have our religious ed and our communications VPs. Everyone has a role that comes together that makes CBI USY what it is today. We are a community of Jewish youth who accept each other for those roles, and we honor all the people who want to be a part of our CBI Jewish community. We honor the gifts of those individuals as well, because without those and the members of the chapters of USY, we won't be the strong, excellent chapter we have always been. So looking once again at the text, I thought about why Moses was so specific about who was being addressed there in Moab. Why was he calling them out by the name, so to speak, instead of addressing them as a people? This is another thought. It is important that people know what their roles are and that they aren't just lumped in a community. These people had roles, and therefore, knowing your role, you take ownership and you take responsibility and you move forward with a sense of strength and purpose. So once again, we all have our own role, we all have our own title, but we are all part of our bigger community. So that is important for us as we identify as a group of CBI USY. In the Torah, the identity of these groups was meaningful just as it is for us today. So that is what CBI USY is. We are a community of individuals with titles that give us comfort, yet diversity. We are a community of groups who welcome growth and learning. We are proud of who we are, and we will continue to strive to be the best that we can be. We will welcome all Jewish youth and embrace what makes each of us unique and special, with the knowledge that together as one full community, we will be strong and an excellent chapter once again. Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tova.
Thank you, Sherry. It's a beautiful Dvar Torah. Please turn to page 39b as we begin the Mariv service, and Leah will lead us in the Baruch. Please rise.
Baruch hu atah Adonai, Baruch Adonai Baruch le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Baruch le'olam va'ed. You may be seated.
Uma'avir yom u'mevi laila, uma'avdil ben yom u'ben laila, Adonai tzavot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid mochaleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv aravim. Page 40. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha avta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadita Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shachveinu u'vekumeinu nasiach bechukecha ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה V'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Page 41. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלבתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על יבך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך ובטחתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Please continue silently. Page 42 at the bottom paragraph. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael ve'amarta alehem ve'asu lahem tzitzit al kamfei bigdeihem ledorotam ve'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf betiltei cheled ve'alechem letzitzit uritem oto l'skarkem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam ve'lo taturu acharei levavechem ve'acharei עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Please turn to page 44 as I invite Ava to come up and lead the Micha Mocha with me. Page 44 at the arrow. Umalchuto beratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe v'nei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabba ve'amru chulam.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha ne'eder b'kodesh, Nora tehila osefele, Nora tehila osefele. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha ne'eder b'kodesh, Nora tehila osefele, Nora tehila osefele.
Malchutecha ra'u v'necha bokeam lifnei Moshe Zeli anu v'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed V'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. Please turn to page 45 for Hashkivenu, as I invite Raquel to come up and lead. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu la shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim ufros aleinu sukkah shalom echa. Yes, beautiful. Thank you. I'm going to do one more tune for Hashkivenu as well. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot shalomecha. Ufros aleinu Sukkot shalomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. At the arrow, Ushmor teitenu uvoenu lechaim leshalom yatav yad olam. Ufros aleinu sukkot shalomecha baruch atah Adonai. Haforesh sukkot shalom aleinu v'yakol amo Yisrael v'yal Yerushalayim. I now invite Ava to come back up to lead us in Vishamru on page 46, and invite you all to please rise.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat
Shabbos.
Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat
Shabbos.
Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. B'nei Uvein, B'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat
Shabbos.
Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael
Shabbos לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. Thank you, Ava. Please stay on page 46 for the Chatzi Kaddish as Raquel leads us. Please stay rising. Get on. Amen. Please turn to page 47 for the silent Amidah. We will continue silently. If you are still chanting, please continue. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Please turn to page 53 for the symbolic repetition of the Amidah. Vayechulu hashamayim v'ha'aretz הארץ וכל צבאם. ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה. וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון קונה שמיים וארץ מגן אבו ביברו מחיי מתים במאמרום האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו כי בם רצה להניח להם כי בם רצה להניח להם לפנה נבוא בדברה ופחד ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד ומעין הברכות אל ההודעות אדון השלום מקדש השבת מברך שביעי ומניח בקדושה לעמק קדושני עונג זכר למעשה בראשית אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו רצה במנוחתנו קדשנו במצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך סבנו מטובך ושמחנו בישועתך וטהר ליבנו לעבדך באמת והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו ביהבה וברצון שבת קודשך ואנוכו בישראל מקדשי שמך ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת יקדש ויקדש שמי רבה ביום דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם לא מעלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בימה ואמרו אמן תתקבל צלתון ובל תהון דכל ישראל קודמו בהון דבישמיה ואמרו אמן יהי שלום רב מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. Please turn to page 56 for Aleinu. You still have to stand. I'm so sorry. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol lateit gedula leotzer breshit shelo asanu kigoyei aratzot velo samanu kmishpachot adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem vigor aleinu kechol hamonam ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ומושב יקרום בשמיים עמו ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד הב ממלכנו אפס זולתו כגדול tu betorato Yadata yom v'hashevota elevavecha Ki Adonai hu Elohim ba 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 shamayim mi'al v'al haaretz mitachat einod. Please continue silently. Page 57 at the arrow. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
I invite you to be seated, except those observing a yurt site or who are in mourning, as we as a community observe the following yurt sites this week. Ethel Appel, James Atkinson, David Greifman, my mother, Hetty Spitz, Belle Pulaski, Lazzie Goldberg, Max Catlin, Ann Acton, Joanne Warshaw, Bill Lupton, Rose Malloy, Solomon Coogan, Jacob Wolf, Ivan Aronson, James Simon, Ruth Rosenblum, Mary Barnett, Beatrice Cohenheim, Alan Cowan, and Samuel Deutsch. And again, condolences to the Green family on the passing of Paulette Green. We join to honor our loved ones, Kaddish Shatom, page 58. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kari v'miramein, yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach, le'olam u'me'almaya, barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, Vitadar vitalev vitalal shemei dekudsha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran bi'alma v'miramein yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'el kol Yisrael v'miramein osei shalom b'mramav u'ya'asei shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. Some announcements. First, a thank you to our USYers for a beautiful service. A thank you to Yaira Spitzer-Tilchin, to Leah Green, to all of you who participated. It's wonderful to have a participatory USY-led service. And a special thanks to Sherry Galante, our USY Youth Director, for setting a precedent for teachings on the first Friday of the month. And we look forward to hearing from many of you as we continue with our USY leadership. Tomorrow morning, Shabbat services, 9:30 on our, both here, as well as our other access through our live stream. Monday night begins a new year, 5782, Rosh Hashanah, 8 o'clock service on that evening on Monday night, as well as Tuesday. I do think we have the longest services of any congregation in Orange County, at least when we start. We start on Tuesday and Wednesdays at 8 a.m. We shoot without promises to be done by 12:30. One of the things that will be different this year than last year, there was nobody in this room for high holidays out in the seats. It was COVID in a time of even greater uncertainty, pre-vaccine COVID. And I want to emphasize how fortunate we are to have vaccines. It is how we take care of each other. In sum, last year, we only pre-recorded, that was 11 hours pre-recorded, and 7 hours that were live. This year, we have 3 different ways of experiencing CBI services. They are in this room, but with masks and physical distancing. Outside, we have a 12-foot by 6-foot screen and shade for people who want to be in community but would prefer the greater safety of being outdoors. There will be that opportunity, and of course, live stream as well. But all our services this year will be from the sanctuary live. One last piece in terms of the difference this year, and that is not unlike tonight. For people at home, you can only hear the singing clearly when it's done into a microphone. So it's lovely to be here in person because you can hear your fellow congregants. But for those who are at home, because of the need to feel community, we will have more choir participation with microphones for all our services this year. So however you are choosing to share the holidays, blessings tonight of Shabbat Shalom, blessings looking forward of Shana Tova Umetuka, a good, a sweet year, a year of health and happiness and harvest. With that, some health, happiness, and harvest of our USY.
All right. Thank you, Rabbi. Once again, Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Big Yasher Koach to Yaira and her team of our board who have beautifully participated, Raquel, Ava, and Leah. We'd love to see more of you up here each month. Some of our newer USYers who are sitting in the back absorbing this all for the first time, we'd love to see you up here next month. Quick announcement to jump onto what the rabbi was saying on the first day of Rosh Hashanah. If you are here, we would love to see our teens upstairs in the youth lounge at 11:45, right after the rabbi's sermon, for a fantastic, fun program we have planned with our new rabbi, Ben Goldstein, who will be here with us for the next year. So he will be working with the teens. We have a really fun, exciting program planned, about 45 minutes upstairs in the youth lounge, and a similar program, not as fun and no food, on Yom Kippur Day, a teen discussion with Rabbi Goldstein. So we would like to see you guys there for the holidays. We have many, many more programs planned for the year, and it's all on our website. So once again, Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova, and we'll conclude the service here.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Rabbi. Yes, teens, I would like to see a lot more participation. I want to thank all of my participants today. It was beautiful. For the first Shabbat Club back in person, I'm so glad to hear your voices and be able to sing with you together with it not cutting out on Zoom. I now invite you to turn to page 62 for Yigdal. Yigdal Elohim Chai ve'yishtabach nimsa v'yein etel metziuto echad v'yein yachid ke'ichudo ne'lam v'gam ein sof le'achduto ein lo demut haguf ve'ein lo guf lo na'aroch elav kedushato kadmon l'chol davar asher nivra Rishon ve'ein reshit le'reshito Hino Adon Olam bechol notzar Yorek gedulato u'malchuto Serfan nevuato netano Al anshe segulato betifarto Lo kam be'Yisrael kemoshe od Navi umabit et emunato Torah demet natan le'amoel Al yad nevi onem beito lo yachalif ha'el velo yamir dato leolamim lezulato sofer biyodei tzetarenu mabit l'sof davar bekadmato gomel leish chesed kemifalo noten l'rasha ra kerishato yishlach b'ketz yamim meshichenu liftot mechai keket yeshuato metim yachayel beroch hasto baruch hadei ad shem teilato metim yachayel beroch hasto baruch hadei ad shem teilato. Now I invite you to please turn to
73.
to page 73 for Shalom Aleichem as Raquel leads us. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharim, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
You are dismissed.